It's Friday morning, approximately 8:30 a.m. I have a 9:30 a.m. pickup on a run that I booked off of the Courier app. And it's a pretty interesting run. It's actually paying pretty well per mile wise. It comes out to $25 per mile. And right now I'm picking up in the south suburbs, and the trip is only going a total of 4 miles. I took this run only because I had something else booked with Amazon, which I believe is paying a total of $545 for around 200 and some odd miles, which will run right after I complete this. I believe I picked that up a little after 12 p.m. So I kind of booked this run to supplement my daytime run with Amazon. I'm about 45 minutes early for my pickup, with it being slightly after 8:30 a.m. right now. I may be able to go in and pick up now, but I wanted to touch bases with you guys before I did so. But yeah, I booked this run for $100. Yeah, you heard me correctly. $100. As I stated, I booked it to supplement my daytime Amazon run, with that being less than what I would normally want to run for. It's still not being a bad load with it running during the day. We have a bunch of Amazon runs at night. Now, I'm not gonna say what they do or don't pay, but it's more runs at night than it is during the day pertaining to Amazon Relay. For me to be able to get something for $545, that's a pretty good deal. And I'm gonna use the $100 that I'm getting for this 4-mile run to supplement what I'm kind of losing on the Amazon run. It's been extremely difficult as of late to secure runs on the Courier app. First off, they've been far and few. Secondly, what you do see, it goes extremely quickly. And if it doesn't go quickly and you're allowed to even get a bid in, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be under bid. And I've been dealing with Courier for over a year now. And for most of that time, you know, I've had really good dealings with Courier. I've stated on the platform that Courier still is my favorite gig app. But over the course of the last month or so, we've seen a decline. As I stated, the runs are far and few. The ones that you do see and are able to bid on, 9 times out of 10, you will be under bid. And that's kind of why I took this for what I took it for. I've never ran a load in a box truck for $100. This is a first. But where I end up after I run this 4 miles from here to another south suburb right around the Chicagoland area, I'll be 10 minutes away from my pickup with Amazon. And that's gonna take me out to Champaign, Illinois, and then back to somewhere here in the Chicagoland area. $8:50 a.m. and we are loaded. So right now we are 4.1 miles, a 11 minutes away from the drop location. So I'd definitely be done with this well before 9:30 a.m. and still have a solid 3 hours until my pickup with Amazon. So ultimately, I'll have completed this delivery before my standard arrival time at the pickup. You want to be early. You want to drop on time. You want to remain professional because, as I stated, these opportunities pertaining to these gig apps are getting slimmer and slimmer. That wasn't a bad $100 at all. That honestly wasn't a bad drop off. It took a total of 45 minutes tops from pick to drop, and everything was ready at the origin. And even here, it was a moving truck with 3 guys that pulled in at the particular facility I was dropping at, and they were moving someone out. And the guy that pretty much runs the shipments had them move in order for me to drop that one skid before they began moving the resident out. Right now it's approximately 11:30 a.m. About 45 minutes out from my 12:15 p.m. pickup. And once I arrived to where I am now, about 2 minutes from my pickup location with Amazon, another load came up on the courier app. A really short run, going about 30 miles or so. And yeah, the suggested bid amount wasn't a whole lot. I think a little over $100. I didn't bid on it because I knew I wouldn't have time to complete that before my pickup with Amazon. It's pretty obvious that most of these gig apps have an algorithm, and the more you run off of those gig apps, the more opportunities you'll see. That's pretty much how it's working right now. A lot of individuals in the trucking space are having issues pertaining to gig apps and different opportunities that are or are not arising. And that's why I'm touching on this matter here now. Not only is it the first quarter of the year, I talked about saturation as well. Also, individuals that run for lesser, as well as the algorithm on these apps. So those are the reasons that you see the issues that you see currently pertaining to gig apps. So it's not a cancellation, which is a good thing. I wanted to run this one. But yeah, we docking over at dock door 175. One thing about these facilities where the shipping personnel load your truck, you always want to open your roll-up door and make sure that all of your equipment is present before departing. Anybody experienced with Amazon Relay knows that these style of facilities where they don't let you in, for some reason, they tend to remove pallet jacks, straps, chocks, and so forth. And for whatever reason, once they complete the loading process, they forget to put those items back, which then causes a bunch of chaos, because if a carrier departs the facility without their equipment, it's a big mess once they actually figure it out. Normally, you'll then need to either return to the facility or contact your middle mile performance manager, alert them of the issue, what facility it was, and then they may be able to get a replacement. One thing that I have heard in the past, that if this does occur, you want to report it to the app immediately. You also want to email your performance manager immediately. If you wait a few days, it's a good chance that you just gonna simply take that L. So yeah, the gentleman next to me, he pulled out to put the seal on the back of his truck. And once he looked in there, he immediately bagged back to the dock door, jumped out, and beeline back inside. Now, it may be his standard departure time, so this may be affecting his upcoming legs. And this is another reason why a lot of carriers tend to avoid these facilities where they load for the carrier. It may seem like you're getting off scot-free and you're gonna have an easy trip, but the issues that can arise from these type of situations really aren't worth the trouble. Another negative about these type of facilities is the fact that in inclement weather, extremely hot or extremely cold temperatures, this facility takes your key upon arrival. That way you don't mistakenly pull away from the dock door while they're back there loading. So once they take that key, whatever the temperature is in your truck, that's the temp. And yeah, you can't see him, but the guy just came back around just now, and I guess they may have got everything straightened out. Or maybe he just ain't even gonna put the seal on there at this point, because he may be running behind. But as I was stating, you have the temperature issue as well, whereas you're sitting in the truck for an extended period of time waiting to be loaded. So you're subject to whatever temperature it is in the truck. They do have a driver's lounge, but then you're not aware of exactly when they complete the loading process. And most people are trying to get in and out. So that took about 30 to 40 minutes tops. And I'm gonna pull up and make sure my pallet jack straps and chocks are present. And then we gonna go and hit the road. Look good to me. Another thing that I have not touched on, lately, if you pull into these facilities where they provided you a seal and you go to drop without a seal, when you get over there, it's like a big investigation. So you don't want to arrive at your drop locations without a seal if you were provided one. I know it sounds like common sense, but a lot of individuals will just forget to put the seal on there. And once the ship clerk at the drop figures that out, it's up. Next stop, Champaign, Illinois. So we got a total of 99 miles, about an hour and a half over to Champaign. It's exactly 3 p.m. right now. So I'm looking to get in, get unloaded, and jump back on the interstate. I'm already fueled up. And my next pick isn't until after 7 p.m. So I got over 4 hours, but I do have an hour and a half travel time back to that pickup facility. Get them they straps back. I don't want to. So I was looking at my floor in there, and I can't tell what that syrupy type of substance is on the inside. I'm hoping that's not hydraulic fluid from one of my pallet jacks, because that's what I was kind of looking at. And that's a first. I've never had a stain in the back of my box. And I'm going to look into it. I'm going to check the pallet jacks once I actually get back into the general area. Now, that could have been some type of liquid from one of the packages. They do ship liquid at points and periods of time. So I'm hoping that's what that is. So now we head back over to 105th and Woodline in Chicago, Illinois. Right now I'm pulling in a DNL4, 105th and Woodline in Chicago, Illinois. And I'm anxious to see what they actually have for me to load, if anything. This load could possibly cancel. And something that I have not talked about, but Amazon in some of these daytime runs, if part of the leg does not have freight, they're now starting to re-rate the route or change the rate per mile as they see fit. You really don't have any say in that. If part of the leg is missing, ROC does the adjustments. But that's happened to me at least one time in the last month, and it's been a while since I've been to this particular facility, at least about a year, and I'm over an hour early right now, so I may have some time to just hang out. So it's right after 7 p.m. shortly before my arrival time, and I just got loaded with like 5 carts. I was in there about 45 minutes because what the ship clerk was telling me was somebody, the ROC or whoever created this trip, when I booked it, my license plate wasn't attached to the trip. So it caused some discrepancies, but it took them maybe 15-20 minutes to get it figured out. And yeah, I was good to go. They loaded me with like 5 carts. From what they're telling me, they were usually using a semi for this particular load because they would have upwards of 18 carts a night. Right now, they're having a lesser number, so they're using box trucks to move these over to Crest Hill. They do still exist. Wow. It's a rental. So it's slightly after 8 p.m. And finally I'm arriving in Crest Hill, Illinois. I can't complain. It wasn't a bad trip at all. I mean, it does fill up a day, but that's kind of what you want, as opposed to being on a load board for hours and hours and hours looking for something to run. So this took me out to Champaign, back to 150 Woodlawn, and in here to Crest Hill. I'm about done recording, tired. It's been a hell of a day. Just a regular day in the life of a Midwest box trucker. So yeah, on that note, I think I'm gonna leave this video here. As usual, you guys stay safe out there. Take it easy and have a good one. Appreciate you.